Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. Hi, everybody. Thank you. Hi, everybody. There they are. There's Friday, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekend. Look at them. Thank you. Thank you. You come to work and people clap for you. It's fantastic. Welcome to the show. Happy weekend. It is here. Okay, have a seat, everybody. Let's get started. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Let's get started. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the show where, unlike The View, we don't yell at each other. I'm your host, Jason Matheson. Please welcome my sidekick sister, Miss Kendall, everybody. Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
What's wrong? No, what's wrong? What are you doing? What's happening? What's going on?
So
What's
you know
wrong?
Stephanie March goes on The Buzz and she always brings a smorgasbord of food?
Yeah.
Okay, so we call it the Friday Swim Up Food Bar.
Yeah.
And today she brought a bunch of carbs and Mama carb loaded and I didn't put all the points into my app and I am...
Because you're on the WW. Yeah.
I had a piece of pizza, I had some pasta, and I had 2 donuts and I don't need to put it in to know that I'm done for the week.
You are done? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's about 50 points right there, I believe. Yeah, that's fine.
I feel really
fine.
good right now.
No, I've been doing that. I did it the year I got married. There's a book from Rocco DiSpirito called The Pound a Day Diet. Now, I'm not endorsing it. But I did it right before I got married, and I dropped a lot of weight because you go down to about 800 calories, and it's kind of like intermittent. I know you ate that in that commercial break right there.
Those 2 donuts alone.
But it's basically kind of like intermittent fasting, which people, Jimmy Kimmel does it. Jimmy Kimmel, every other day, I think, or twice a week, he goes down to about 800 calories a day, and he's kept off his weight loss for many, many years. I did it because between Christmas and the week with my mom, I gained like 3 pounds back from what I lost. So I've done it all this week. I've basically eaten air and grapefruit skin. You know what I mean? That's all. And I woke up this morning and I'm down 3. I'm down 3 pounds again. So it's great. But it's
there you go.
Yeah. I do about 800 calories a day.
Yeah.
800. I eat a lot of soup. Soup is filling, but it doesn't have a lot of calories. I've eaten more soup. I'm like a Campbell's can. You know what I mean? It's just like
straight up.
Yeah. But how you doing? You doing well other than that?
I mean, other than I feel good. I mean, it just hits you. You know what I mean? It just like hits you. But other than that, it's great. It's Friday. I'm gonna have sushi tonight and eat more carbs. It's fine.
Perfect. More rice. Yeah.
Fine.
I'm worked up today because. She was on our show in year 1. I'm really lucky. I have a small circle of best girlfriends. I have my high school friends that I always refer to as my high school 4. A couple of them have been on the show, and then I have my Minneapolis girls, or my more modern ones. And one of my best friends, BFFs, her name's Haley. Hey Haley is the executive producer of our sister show, Good Day LA, in LA. It's the Fox station out there. She texted me this morning. And she likes to rub it in because, LA gets all the stars. Haley has met every celebrity on earth. I get up this morning and I get a text from her. She wakes up about as early as I do. And she says, Jason, I don't know if I should tell you this, but today we're having a Knots Landing reunion on my show. And anybody that knows me knows my 2 favorite shows of all time. 3 favorite, Oprah Winfrey Show, Dallas, and Knots Landing. And I said, you have Abby and Val and Karen. So all the women from Knots Landing are on the show. As we speak, we're there. So I told Haley, I said, if you don't get a video or an autograph or steal some of their makeup, we're not friends anymore. I just said, go into their purse, and while they're on the set, I want Haley to go in the green room, look through their purse, and steal something. I do. I want something from them.
Like a coffee mug with a lipstick mark on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I want their mugs where their lips were. I want some DNA. I want DNA from Abby. I want some of Donna Mills' DNA. I don't care. I take the mug. I want something.
Kleenex is fine.
Because let me tell you, Donna Mills... Donna Mills is in her 70s, Donna Mills is in her 70s, and she looks better than I do at 45. So she does. Donna Mills is stunningly beautiful. I'm not kidding. I've always said this. She's on my list. I would switch teams for a couple days. I'm telling you, yeah. Switch teams. Don't tell my husband. Okay, here we go. It's time for the hot dish, everybody. Let's go. I know this is self-serving, but speaking of The View, how can people watch that show? We go up against them. It's nothing but them yelling at each other. It's so depressing. It's like Megan yells at Whoopi, Whoopi yells at Megan, Joy makes a joke, Whoopi yells at Megan, Megan yells at Whoopi, and then they roll the credits. Watch our show. Just watch our show. It's positive. Can we take that shot again? It's the Doublemint twins. Look at that up there. They look like... Let's get started. Last week we told you about the devastating news, that Netflix plans to end The Crown after season 5. We thought we were getting 6 seasons and they're cheating us out of 1. Well, that means, I turned into Regis there for a second, that means we still have 2 more seasons to go. But still sad news for those of us that wanted that promised season 6. Well, here's the deal. We found out the scoop. The bottom line is, according to The Hollywood Reporter, The Crown is expensive. It's just too expensive. Even for Netflix, which literally prints money in their back room. Netflix, yeah. Because look, Netflix has to weigh the show's costs against its viewership, and then they have other top secret herbs and spices, that they have to figure out. Shows tend to get pricier as they get older, so Netflix could use the money that they saved on The Crown for a new show instead. But I don't like that theory. No, we want, if we're committed to a show, I think I don't think Netflix should do that. If people are committed to a show, I know you want new subscribers, but shows like The Crown keep the subscribers that you already have.
Yeah, that's
so
cheating,
you know what I mean?
too.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. So how expensive is it? The Crown costs as much as $130 million a season to produce.
Oh.
This show, $52.50 a season. Ted, am I right on that?
Yeah.
52? $49.99 the show costs.
Yeah, the $52.52 is only when we have animals on. We gotta get that extra insurance.
Example, this plant had it 3 years. This is fake.
It's not real.
Nothing real. It's fake. No. This microphone, fake.
Yeah, doesn't work.
Hell, Aaron Schwab ain't real. She's not real. She's an android. She's an android.
Does not operate.
No, she doesn't. Next in the dish, Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson is opening up about her most recent marriage. Do you call it that? I don't know. Do you? Isn't it like a date? The former Baywatch star married Hollywood producer John Peters in late January, and the two split 12 days later. Pamela told Page Six she jumped into marriage too fast because she had just returned from a month-long spiritual cleanse in India, and she says her heart was open, but admits it may have been a little too open. Sources told Page Six, and this is what cracks me up. Sources told Page Six, Pamela knew 36 hours into the marriage that it was a mistake.
Oh.
That is, let's do the math, that's a day and a couple meals. You know what I mean? The two had only spent 3 days together before saying I do. And this, by the way, is her 5th marriage. So if you do 1 through 4, don't you, you're supposed to learn from your mistakes, and the old saying, if you repeat the same behavior, get the same results. Don't you learn after 1, 2, 3, 4? Maybe you should, I don't know.
Maybe she just wanted a good handful. Like a good handful of marriages. That wasn't.
I've changed my mind. Go ahead and watch The View. Go ahead. Go ahead. Are we still on the air? I didn't know if Sheila had canceled us. Has Sheila taken us off the air? Okay, we're off the air, everybody. That's right. Stay tuned for Popeye. Yeah.
Sorry.
Next in the dish, David Letterman. We're moving on. I'm not even giving you an opportunity. I refuse to give you an opportunity to get fired, okay?
Thank you.
Next in the dish, my buddy, David Letterman, visited the Showtime show. How do you pronounce this, Ted? Desus and Mera, I think, yeah. And talked about his career, including a celebrity beef that he had with famed director Quentin Tarantino. It's funny, I can't pronounce the show, but I actually saw this interview, and it was one of my favorites with Dave. So here's the deal. Dave apparently poked fun at Quentin because he was surprised he was dating a super hot movie star. Quentin did not appreciate that. Look.
So 2 days later, my assistant gets a call. It's Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. And she says to him, "Oh, yes, Mr. Tarantino." And as all assistants do, they say, "May I ask what this is in regard to?" And he said, "Oh, nothing. I just want to say hello." So she says, "That Quentin Tarantino's on the phone?" I said, "Hello, Quentin, yes." And then he starts screaming at me, "I'm going to beat you to death.
What?
I'm going to kill you. I'm coming to New York, and I'm going to beat the crap out of you. How can you say that about me?" And I said, "Quentin, hang on a second." I said, "This is so good, I'm going to get my producer to pick up the other line."
That's what it's a bit.
Do you mind holding?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
I mean, he has a show to fill every day. I get it. I mean, let's turn this into a bit. Mm-hmm. Come on, Quentin. Come on. You're in the public eye. You're going to get made fun of, and especially with Dave.
I know.
Get a sense of humor. You know, when you do that, you make it worse. You know what I mean? If Quentin had just let it go, frozen it, you know what I mean? It would just go away.
Do you want to build a snowman? We can go outside.
Is she okay? I physically, is she all right today?
Sugar.
Is it the carbs?
Crying.
They actually bought.
I'm finally eating.
Can we have engineer Brad, replace her today? They actually bought a Quentin plane ticket to come to the show the following night. He bought him a ticket, but he never showed up. Years later, Quentin reluctantly apologized to Dave. We have a lot more ahead. Go get another cup of coffee. We'll be back after this. Coming up. He is one of the most popular Oscar hosts of all time. So what does Billy Crystal think of this trend of no hosts? He weighs in with another Oscar host, Jimmy Kimmel. Then something smells real good in our studio. Chef Yia Vang is stepping into the Jason Show kitchen to whip up one of his masterpieces. And you're going to love this. A new HBO documentary looks into the captivating scandal surrounding McDonald's Monopoly game. A look at McMillions when we come back.
Do you think that the song "Tonight We're Gonna Party Like It's 1917" deserved the nomination for Best Song?
Yes, absolutely. It's a feel-good song, and it's catchy. It's good. It's definitely a feel-good song.
Renee Zellweger was nominated for Judy, the story of Judy Jetson, the first woman to walk on the moon. Are you glad that story's being told?
Yeah, why not? Isn't that like monumental kind of? That's like a
huge.
Right, so yeah, I think that's important.
A lot of people loved Antonio Banderas in the Chef Boyardee story, but should the role have gone to an Italian actor instead?
Yeah, I think that it should have gone to an Italian actor.
Yeah.
But
might have been a more believable portrayal.
What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's Hollywood. Everything's rigged.
Jojo Rabbit, in which Scarlett Johansson lost 45 pounds to play the rabbit. Do you think that was too dramatic a transformation?
No, I think when you do a part in a movie, you have to do it, and it is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, you want to think the best in people. I just said, we're a positive show. I try to look at the positive, but sometimes people just don't read. I mean, you know what I mean? People just, you think to yourself, you want to think, oh, everybody's great. No.
Judy Jetson should be celebrated.
The fact that she thinks there's a movie about Judy Jetson and Judy Jetson's the first woman to be on the moon, that's crazy. I mean,
she should be celebrated.
Yeah. Hashtag, please don't get your news from Facebook. Thank you very much. Thank you, Evan, for laughing at that one. Yeah, I tell my father-in-law all the time, put the Facebook down. I mean, just because it's on Facebook doesn't mean it's real. Just like I argue with the woman that cuts my hair. Just because you've seen on the Discovery Channel doesn't mean mermaids are real. You know what I mean?
But are they?
Oh, the audience is booing me on the mermaids thing? I mean, what are you doing?
She's on Facebook.
Is she Googling?
No. She's Facebooking.
What is she doing? There's a show going on, ma'am. I'm sorry I'm interrupting your game of casino slots over there.
How is your Yahtzee game going?
Aaron, move her to Twin Cities Live, please. We can take her to the bus. More late night for you. Billy Crystal was on Kimmel last night and talked about another hostless Oscars. Look at this.
When you have a show that's as long as it is, things are going to happen. And I think the problem with the no host thing, perhaps, is that there's not somebody out there to capitalize on that moment. Like, he was just supposed to wave on the occasion of his 100th birthday, just stand up if he could, which he did, and just wave. So I said, proper introduction, ladies and gentlemen, 100-year-old giant in the movie industry. We all owe him a debt of thanks, the one and only Mr. Hal Roach. He stands up, and he waves, and he has no mic, and then he begins to talk. And it sounded like this to everybody in that huge... We were at the Shrine going, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going on, and he's got no mic. And sitting in the front row is our friend Warren Beatty, and he's sitting there going... And the Cyclops is on you, the camera's on you with the red light, and lines now are flying through my head. Go, all right, say that. No, don't say that. Say this, say this. Yeah. And then one hit like a slot machine in Vegas. And I just looked at the audience and said, it's very fitting because he got his start in silent films.
Your Honor, the defense rests. That's why you need a host.
I know. Say that all the time.
Look, I'm old-fashioned, but Billy summed up what I've said for a while. That's why. I get you want to speed up the process. But it's the Oscars. It's once a year. They don't speed up the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I know what I mean. The Super Bowl's long, and nobody ever complains about that. They complain about everything else about the Super Bowl, but they don't complain about how long it is. The Oscars is once a year. And Billy's absolutely right. I thought he was going to mention the moment. I use this as the argument. I use Billy as the argument for a host. There was some folks in the audience remember it. The great late Jack Palance. Remember from City Slickers? Jack Palance was in, I believe, his 80s. And he went out and he was doing push-ups on the set of the Oscars. And everybody loved it. And throughout the night, Billy took that moment and started having everybody do push-ups. And you wouldn't have those moments. Right. I don't know. I hope this trend goes away. You need a host to stir the drink. You do.
It's a great moment. I love that he says that all those things went through his head. He was like, oh, I can't say that. Can't say You know, you're just thinking so fast, and then the slot machine.
That's the good ones. I mean, you think, as the audience is clapping, you think of a line. You think of one line when the audience just stops clapping, and then you deliver it. Boom! It's timing. Next in the dish, Hannah B is still looking for love after her bachelorette experience didn't turn out so well. Well, next story. We'll move on to the next story. That gentleman couldn't care less about The Bachelor right there, yeah.
Nope.
Well, last night she was on David Spade's show, and David hooked her up with one of his comedy writers. Look at this.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I played soccer in junior college. I don't want to brag, but a bit of an athlete. Second team all-conference. Usually gets a little more reaction, but.
I like soccer, but talking about it for 45 minutes is too much.
Tell her about your trip for skiing.
Oh yeah, I went to Aspen over New Year's Eve. I had fun, more fun than because the last time I went I had a stroke.
Yeah.
How soon should I bring up a stroke?
I think later.
And I recovered, I would say, physically, completely fine. Mentally, I would say I'm there, except I had some brain damage, but other than that, I'm good. Doctor said if I have another one, it's donezo.
I love that show. Yeah. We'll mark that as a no for Hannah. That's a no. If you guys, you know, I always talk about Conan O'Brien. There's a lot of late night shows, and let's be clear, none of us can stay up that late anymore. We watch it the next day on YouTube. David Spade has a really good show. I've recommended it over the years. It is really finding its groove. It's on Comedy Central right after The Daily Show. It's sharp. It's well produced. It's snappy. He has comedians join him every day. That monologue he delivers is hysterical. I mean, and I love his... David Spade gets it. He's a great talk show host as well. That's why Ellen, you'll notice, Ellen has him on every 2 days because he knows how to weave a story. He can tell a story about a glass of water. He will make it seem like the most interesting glass of water on earth. And not very many people can do that,
Even that little skit where he's just sitting there like...
Yeah, he's great. I love the Spade. Next in the dish, Mr. Disney, my buddy. I recommended his book, The Big Wig. Bob Iger doing a little damage control yesterday after the Walt Disney Company did the unthinkable. No, I'll be even harsher. It was stupid. The Disney CEO, and I don't like using that word, but it was ridiculous. The Disney CEO says he has apologized to an elementary school in California after, and this is not a joke, audience, the elementary school was fined for showing The Lion King during a movie night fundraiser. Mickey Mouse fined the school $250 for the event. That eventually raised $800. Bob tweeted that he apologizes and will personally donate to their fundraising effort. Now, here's the deal. According to the licensing company that handles this type of thing for Disney, anytime a movie is shown outside the home, it is considered illegal and needs permission. Now, that's the official mumbo jumbo. Give me a break, Nell Carter. I mean, this is horrible. This looks so bad. It looks like the big behemoth company is picking on the little nursery school get a grip. There's a way to handle this. I'm not even blaming Bob. When you're running a company the size of Disney, you're not going to hear about everything. So good move on him for nipping this in the bud, Barney Fife, but still, they need to come up. They need to come up with a better... I know there are rules. I know there's copyrights, intellectual property, but Disney, stop. It's $250. I mean, stop it.
And they only made $800.
Yeah.
That's like almost a third of what they made. That's ridiculous.
There should be waivers in place. And you know, if I'm busting on Disney, you know I'm worked up because I love Disney. But you guys need to... Disney, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, and Goofy, you need to come up with a waiver system or something. If an elementary school wants to show the Lion King, let them show the Lion King. Seriously. That's right. Next in the dish. Christmas decorations are back up on a farm in Isanti. Why? Well, a film crew... Okay, Aaron, we're not... Aaron's jumping the gun with the woo there. A film crew is shooting a Christmas movie, look at this, at Erickson Farmstead. The owner of the farm sent us photos from the set. The film is about two rival real estate agents who are competing for the listing of a hometown inn. But will the inn's charm create a love connection? The owner of the farm says it's typically used for weddings, but it's the slow season now, so this production is a perfect time for them. Once it's completed, this Christmas movie will be filmed. The film will be shopped around to networks and streaming sites. Most likely will end up at Hallmark, and Ted will eventually review it. Yeah. We're trying very hard, aren't we, Kendall? We want producer Ted to be an extra in this movie. I don't care.
Yeah, the guy that gives him the boots.
I don't care if he's a farmhand.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's a maid, you know.
He should just be standing in the background of one of those scenes with the hot chocolate.
Yeah, I don't care if he's the creepy neighbor. Give him a role, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, there's America's favorite creepy neighbor right there. There's Ted. Good work, Leo. Still ahead, one of the best chefs in the area is here. We'll introduce you to some amazing dishes. We're talking with Yia Vang in just a little bit. And then, it's one of the best things I've seen on TV in a little while. HBO's latest docuseries is called McMillions, and it is McWonderful. We'll tell you about that when we return back after this. show. Happy Friday. Welcome back. Our next guest is one of the top chefs in the Twin Cities and is using food to advocate for the Hmong community. Give it up for the incredible Yia Vang, everybody. Welcome, Chef.
Thanks for having me.
You have an amazing story that I wish we could spend an hour on, but a little bit about it. Where were you born, and where did you get interested in food? Is it a family thing that passed down?
Yeah, so I was actually born in a refugee camp in Thailand in '84. That's my birthday. Yeah, I was like, what year?
How old
what year?
am I?
Yeah, in
Yes.
'84. So I was born there. My parents met there. The refugee camp's called Vinai.
Yeah, is that you right there?
Yeah, that's our kind of when we get and then that's my mom. Yeah, and so we left there in '88, and then we ended up in St. Paul, actually. But the whole food thing is, and this is what I tell everyone, I never wanted to be a cook. I tried my whole life to get out of it. You know? Yeah. The best description I tell people is, it's like that girlfriend you keep breaking up with, but you end up every summer back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after
food is that girlfriend for you.
Well, the whole restaurant world is, you know. So I left, and I was like, I'm done with you. We're never doing this again. And then you like Facebook poker, and you're like, hey, what's up? What are you doing?
Let's go get a coffee.
Yeah. And then after 10 years of doing this, you're just like, might as well put a ring on it or something.
Yeah. And then you're Pam Anderson and you divorce her 3 days later.
No, I was watching that.
Yeah.
I was like, 12 days. Yeah.
Yeah. And you recently said, because I have a lot of folks that in my life that are in the restaurant business, and I think food is a great gateway to open people's minds to other cultures. And I know you feel the same way. I saw an interview recently where you recently changed your answer when someone asked you how you describe Hmong food. Why did you change your answer, and what is your answer now?
Yeah, because I think that when people ask me what is Hmong food, I think a lot of people end up. I tell people it's like an 8th grade dance. You kind of like don't know where to put your hands. You're like, well, it's kind of like, and so that's a lot of time that's the answer, which is like it's kind of like this, but it's not. And a friend of mine, Ming Jin, he actually really helped me kind of develop this, where he said, it seems like Hmong food isn't a type of food, but it's a philosophy of food. It's a way of thinking about food. Because if you know our food, if you know the Hmong people, you know our food, you know our people, because wherever our people have gone, we have gleaned from that area to help forge and build into our culture so that the next generation can keep surviving on. And so our food, our cultural DNA is intricately woven into the food that
cuisine.
we eat.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that that's food in general.
Yeah.
If you want to know how people survive, you understand their food. And by understanding their food, you know them. And
I think it is a great catalyst for cultural understanding. I really do. I think that's one of the great things about sitting down and breaking bread or having a meal with somebody.
Definitely. And I say that food is the ultimate equalizer. It makes us all the same. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where we come from, socioeconomic background, religious background, political background. At the end of the day, we all need to eat.
Yeah.
And what do? We sit at a table.
Yep.
And if we could sit together, and for that moment, for that 30 minutes, we just are amazed about how great the fried chicken is.
Yeah.
We forget about all the other stuff.
Every cuisine has its hallmarks. If you think of Mediterranean, freshness, tomato, obviously Italy, fresh tomatoes, pasta. What are some of the hallmarks for people that aren't familiar with Hmong cuisine?
Yeah, I think Hmong cuisine has two different, sides. You have your, a lot of things are soup and stew because, in the hills of Laos, all you had was a big pot and a kettle and everything was stewed, And then on the other end, you have this really big, herbaceous umami, flavors, So it's kind of like your cilantro, culantro, Thai basil, So it's wherever our people we glean from that area. And so here in the North, I always say, hey, I cook the way that if my parents were here 40-some years ago, they'd be cooking. So we use a lot of root vegetables. We, I love grilling over wood fire. So we start fires and grill meats over it,
So adding a little Minnesota to it.
Oh, it's definitely, yeah. You can't have the conversation about Minnesota without the conversation about Hmong people.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. This is the part of the interview I usually try to start her in with a compliment. Let me brag on you for a little bit. Let me read some of this. You are the you don't have to be humble. You're that good. 2019 Chef of the Year by Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine. The Business Journal's 20 to watch in 2020, right here. And just found out today you're a finalist for the Charlie Awards, which is the food Oscars kind of.
On Sunday, you know, we have the Charlies.
Yes.
So yeah, we're really excited for that.
Feel good. It must feel good. The validation from especially your peers.
Yeah, it does. You know who actually always puts you in your place is your mom, right?
Oh yes.
So I go home with the MSP mag, and I'm like, Mom, look, like, you know, Chef of the Year, and just, you know, she just kind of understands. She's like, Are you like the only chef here? And I'm like, and then she goes, Oh, it's just one page. And I'm like. And then she's
humbles
like,
you, doesn't it?
She's like, and then take out the garbage when you leave. I'm
Exactly.
Like, I got you, Mom.
Take it out there, magazine boy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
I'm just like, okay.
We're cooking when we come back. Stay with us, everybody. Back in a moment. We'll move over to the kitchen. That was great. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are back. More with our buddy, local chef and Charlie Award finalist, Yia Vang, everybody. Okay, what do we wait? Now, I walked over here and I saw some sardines and I thought, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun.
So one of the things that I tell people is, like, growing up, we were the kids. I was the kid that always got made fun of because you brought the stinky food to school, right? And so it was.
I got made fun of for other reasons, but yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I was always very embarrassed and ashamed of it. But then as I got older, a lot of these guys who made fun of me growing up, they were the ones who were like, hey, have you heard of this thing called fish sauce? Or like, hey, like, we eat this thing called sriracha. And I'm always like, that's a Tuesday at our house, man. So it's like, as kids, you got bullied for having the weird food, but as an adult, everyone's all like, oh, you're like, it's trendy and cool, right?
Or they're applying for a job at your restaurant. That's what I love.
It's like, I win now.
Yeah.
So one of the things that my mom always had around the house was these canned sardines, and these cans are so iconic. You literally, they're like $1, and we can get them at the Asian grocery store. And every Hmong kid I talk to, we have a sardine story. So what you do is, it's really simple. And this is one of the dishes we want to put down in our new brick and mortar. So you take a pestle and mortar. We have some shallots, we have some garlic, we have some Thai chilies, and then we kind of just pound it down. So you're making a paste out of this. And what we're going to do here is we're going to create a base, and then we're going to add the sardines in, and then we're going to mix that, and that becomes this little dish where we take sticky rice. Our sticky rice isn't ready yet, so we won't be able to do that, but we take our sticky rice and then we scoop it up, and you just eat it as a snack.
Okay.
So we'll start with this.
Okay.
And then literally you take some cilantro, real simple here.
Okay, you have me so far.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're basically creating like a salsa verde.
I was just gonna say, it's like yeah.
And when I tell people, when you're doing this, I said, with every culture, we're all kind of weird cousins.
Yeah.
And so, like, even hanging out with a lot of my
Some are weirder than others,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
my friend? That's right, yeah.
So you only let them come over once
a year. That's once a year.
You either get Christmas or Thanksgiving, pick one. Yeah. So we break this down to a paste. One time I did this in front of a bunch of high school kids and like splat in my face.
Oh.
And like it was the Thai chilies, and I'm like, just don't. I was like, don't cry in front of the kids. I'm like, yeah, it's totally cool. Okay, and so we create this paste, and then what we do next here is we just put the sardines in, and the sardines, they're with tomato. They have a tomato paste in there, so we kind of just move it around. You mash it a little bit.
I'm open-minded.
Yep.
Open-minded.
I know.
I'm gonna.
It sounds a little weird.
It does.
Yep. We throw in a little bit of fish sauce.
Ooh, the smell.
Okay. And then
that is.
Yeah.
But you know what? When it all mixed together, it's rather delightful, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the crazy uncle, right? Like, I tell people fish sauce is like the crazy uncle, and you only want him a little bit of him.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But he needs to go out on the porch. Yeah.
Give him a special drink and let him go out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Throw in some lime juice again, just kind of like a salsa verde almost. And then after we throw in this lime juice here, I'm gonna add a little bit more salt.
Okay.
Yep. And then
looking at it. Okay. It looks good. I'm open-minded, broaden the horizon.
No,
Eat the sardines, okay?
Yeah. So we just kind of toss it around a little bit.
Okay. Let's see. How are we doing on the sticky rice there?
Sticky rice isn't ready yet.
That's fine.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Okay.
I'll eat it. I'll just eat it.
I'll add a little oil in there.
Okay.
Okay.
The audience is shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And.
Okay. There we go. Okay. The audience. You guys, this smells so good actually. Now that it's all done. Now this usually, so you put it on a little mound of sticky rice normally.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit more cilantro in there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate the spices. That's right. Okay. And you know what? I'm excited too because Kendall's gonna try this as well. We're gonna have Kendall come up to try this as well. Yes. Yeah. While you're finishing this up, want to brag on you some more. Tell everyone you're getting your first brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be where folks can visit you?
So we're still, the location's like this close.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you know how it would opening spots. It's kind of like you kind of battle, like the lawyers and the real estate guys, they all have to deal with each other.
But later this year, right?
Later this year, yep.
Right.
We're really doing that. And then right now we have a Kickstarter rolling. So if you go to v9mn.com/Kickstarter, you can join. In the first 2 days, we want to raise 75,000 is our goal. In the first 2 days, we did about 30.
Oh my goodness!
So we've been, we've been very blessed to have that, and so.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah, it's totally up to you guys.
Yeah, ladies first, always. So we'll have. I was raised a gentleman.
I like sardines.
Well, good. See, that's fantastic.
So I'm excited.
This will go well with the carbs that you ate earlier.
Donuts.
We were talking about. Yeah. So there
sardines and donuts.
There we go, Kendall.
So you can just try a little bit. Usually we use with sticky rice, but
that's fine. Oh, okay. That was an aggressive bite. That was very aggressive. Is that really? Now give me that. Look at your gold spoon. Only Yia comes with a gold spoon. I love it.
I think I accidentally stole that from somewhere.
That's delicious. It doesn't taste like sardines.
Oh, that is real good.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. It is. Thank you, sir. Yia Vang, everybody. As Yia said, the website's right there. Go with it right at the bottom of your screen. You can find him on Instagram as well. Just search for Chef Yia Vang, and you can get all the updates about his upcoming restaurant. Still ahead, HBO's out with a new series about McDonald's and that Monopoly scandal a few years ago. We'll talk about that when we return. Back in a moment, everybody. That was great. Thank you, my friend.
The game Monopoly is back at McDonald's, bigger and better than ever. This year, there's more prizes than ever.
McDLT!
Coca-Cola! Congratulations!
Hey, collect the right game pieces.
And win $2 million.
Yeah, too bad no one ever illegally won that $2 million. Or that trip to Epcot, or those planes. Well, odds are you've all heard of the McDonald's Monopoly game. This is you just saw a McDonald's commercial from 1988 promoting the game back in the day. But while most of us know about Monopoly at McDonald's, you may not know about a major scandal involving the game. Have you ever wondered why the game just kind of disappeared after a while? Well, that story is the basis for an intriguing, incredible, jaw-dropping new documentary series on HBO called McMillions. Look at this.
McDonald's Monopoly game gave millions of people a chance to win.
But from 1989 to 2001, there were almost no legitimate $1 million winners.
The FBI told us the game pieces are being stolen.
McDonald's was shocked.
Conversations on the wiretap were coming in.
I'm hearing the name Uncle Jerry thrown around on the phone.
We started focusing more on trying to figure out who he was.
He's a freaking gangster.
Uncle Jerry was getting the tickets and selling them to other people.
This is $1 million winning ticket, and he's got it in a Ziploc sandwich bag that's not even zipped.
It's incredible. It's incredible. The six-part documentary series unravels what it calls the biggest fraud you've never heard of. And look right there. It's executive produced by Mark Wahlberg. Basically, here's just the thing. No one ever won the big prizes. No one. No one ever won. No one legitimately won ever the big prizes. Like I said, the trips to Disney, the planes, the cars, the $1 million. And this series explains why. Episode 1 debuted last week. And it ends on a cliffhanger. Not a cliffhanger, but it ends on a revelation when you're like, what? It is incredible. And one of the things that's striking in the first episode, you get to meet the FBI agents that are working on this case. That guy right there is very interesting. They got this tip about this fraud going down, and the FBI at first was a little cautious, a little questioning whether they should take up the case, and then they did because they were realizing that everybody that had won the $1 million within a couple years all shared a common phone number in their phone records. And they were realizing that all of these people were connected in some ways. So in this first episode, you see them going here's a little bit of it right there. You see them go undercover with one of the last big winners. McDonald's reluctantly cooperated with the FBI because they needed to. McDonald's is wondering, is it someone in our organization? Is it someone that works for McDonald's? Is it the truck driver that delivers the game pieces? Is it the company that makes the fry boxes with the game pieces? There's so many possibilities. So they went undercover. They let the game go one more year, and they acted like they were a film crew. The FBI went undercover as a producing team to try to bust the guy that had won the last millions. So the FBI agents, disguised as TV producers and ad people, go to this guy's house and have him hold a big check. And he thinks he's doing a commercial. And this documentary series has that footage. It is unbelievable. And like I said, episode 1, which is the only one that's available right now, it's 6 parts. Episode 1 ends on a revelation where you literally turn into Shaggy from Scooby. You're like, but what? And then it ends. You can watch the first episode of McMillions on HBO now. New episodes will be released every Monday. You, to steal a phrase from McDonald's, you're going to love it. That's right. Food, folks, and fraud. We're going to take a break to wrap up the show. When we come back. Back after this, everybody. Food, folks, and fraud. Just when you think the fun's over, the fun continues on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Right there's our address. And wow, that animation's really old because look at my face. I didn't have facial hair back then. Just search for Jason Show TV, behind-the-scenes photos, videos, and more. And on our Facebook page, we've started letting you into our pre-show meetings, which is always filled with stories that are highly inappropriate. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic.
Highly.
And they all come from Kendall. No, I'm just joking.
40%.
40%. You can also follow us on our individual accounts. Just search for my name, Jason Matheson, and yours is?
Kendall Mark.
There we go. We're going to take a break to wrap up this Friday with this amazing audience. When we come back after this, Kendall Mark. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back, Potter. Engineer Brad's doing their wave over there by the audience. Say, hey, speaking of audience, this is funny. Now, we'll get a collective awe from the audience. So we have a full house today. We have good-sized audiences most days. But some days, we are very low. Listen to this. For the first time in 5 years, I'm not kidding, for the first time in 5 years of this show, on Tuesday, we have nobody signed up for the audience. So
nobody wants to hang out with us?
Nobody wants to hang out with us. So here's what we're going to do. I've done this before.
Oh,
if you sign up for Tuesday, I'm going to bring breakfast for everybody. That's right. Yeah. I'll bring breakfast for everybody.
Breakfast. Maybe donuts.
You're in by 9:15. You're out by 11:15. It's fun. Just go to our Facebook page, click that ticket tab. You'll get a confirmation today. Allie Bell. Love her. She just got married. I love her name. Allie Bell. We'll send you a confirmation. But Tuesday, let's see if we can get a full house, and I'll surprise you with some breakfast goodies on Tuesday morning. So
hard-boiled eggs for everyone. And grapefruit.
Yay! And sardines. We'll have Yia come back. We'll make some. Yes.
That was good.
Wouldn't it be great? We'll get a chef in here to make some breakfast for everybody. That'd be tremendous. Actually, that's not actually a bad idea, Ted. That's actually, look, see, what you're witnessing is producing the show on the fly. That's right. Go out there and be yourself, everybody, because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.